Did we really
I'm not
just do
sure
that?
how long I've been muted. Give me. Let's do a mic check real
Oh my
quick. If
God.
you're
Did we
in here
really
and you've
do
been here
that?
from the beginning, let me know if you can hear me. I'm not sure if we hit the
Yep,
button.
it was muted the whole time. Oh
It was
my
muted the whole
God.
time. So what we're gonna do is redo our intros then, because
Give it
we
a,
thought we were running our mouth for you
we
guys to
sure
hear us.
were.
We'll do a quicker version of that. My name is Derek Forston. I'm the thought leader of Forston Consultants, where my family and I, we go all over the world showing
How
people this
silly.
shared housing concept of how you can take a house, right? You can lease it or rent it and house the homeless or the displaced.
Ay, ay, ay.
Or we're going to also show you how to do the HRA model, where you can house the homeless and the displaced by leveraging relationships, and you don't need the real estate, right? You
Yeah,
only need the relationship to make a referral. And that's what we'll be
yeah.
talking about today. Miss Shay?
Listen, I am so sorry. This is what happens when Shay does not have a cup of Joe in the morning. We forget to unmute things. But anyway, welcome again. I'm Shanye Shay Forston. We are going to talk to you all about the ILF model and who we are, what we do. So for all of you all that was tortured through that first couple of minutes of no audio, that is all on me. Oh my goodness. Well, welcome. Happy Saturday. And let's jump into the conversation.
Absolutely. Let's jump right into it. So, again, if you're new to us, I think we said this earlier while we were muted, but if you're new to us, just text the word new to 407-326-0086. Again, if you're new to us, we got a free gift. And this is actually my newest ebook that I wrote and we put out not even 30 days
Yeah.
ago. We give it to you guys for absolutely free. If you just text the word NEW to 407-326-0086. And as soon as I find it, I'm going to put it on the screen. And that'll give you guys the introductory webinar, but it'll also give you an opportunity to have a discovery call with Shay and I, or somebody from our team, to be able to talk about how can we get you started in terms of where you live at.
Yeah.
Right. We'll talk a lot of general stuff on this YouTube channel, but I absolutely want to speak to you in terms of where you live at, so I can cater your coaching and your discovery call to your city and your state. So again, if you've ever wanted to house the homeless and the displaced and didn't know how, you're in the right place.
Yeah.
If you thought you needed a house to do it with, if you thought you needed a license and oversight from your city, your state, you in the right place, because the independent living facility model, guys, does not require a license. You don't have to own the property. And the model that we'll be talking about today, the HRA, you don't even need a property.
Yeah.
All you need is relationship. And Buena V, if I'm saying that right, it says, I'm here for the referrals to start. I don't have a house yet. So, Ms. B,
Absolutely.
this is the very conversation that you need to be around. In fact, I think you were one of the people that commented
on
the post that
yeah.
I'm talking about. So somebody saw a post that I put in a different group, and I actually hope that she's here, because we're not bashing her, but maybe she didn't understand what it was. Because what's funny is that when I first heard the concept of what the HRA is, I also thought that was a bunch of junk. I was like, huh? You gonna charge me to give you a client? And I'll go deeper into it, but I just want to give the first gist
people need
of
to
it.
know that.
But once I found out that this was an actual business model, it was like, oh, dummy me. So sometimes when you're ignorant to something and you just don't know it, ignorant is not a bad word.
It's
that
not.
just means a lack of knowledge in a certain thing. And guys, I'll admit, and I'll tell the whole story, but just a quick side of it. The first time I ever received a referral from a company and they sent me an invoice, guys, I was outraged. Like, I was like, how you gonna send me an invoice? But first of all, dummy me, the guy sent me a contract and I didn't even read it, because I was so excited just for the opportunity to get a client that I didn't even read the contract.
It was
so
bad.
First of all, that was ignorant of me not to read it. Yeah. And then I'm ready to fight the guy. Like, guys, I was upset. But when I got the knowledge of, wait a minute, Derek, this is a business model that there's a lot of companies in your city,
correct,
that do this and offer this, and they'll never get real estate. They only look for people like us that have the real estate to partner with. We talk a lot about partnership and relationships. In fact, September 10th, that's the whole workshop that we're having on leveraging relationships in the community. September 10th, 7 p.m. on Zoom. We'll talk about that later too. But again, guys, if you're here and you want to get started, today we're going to be talking about how can you get started with housing the homeless and the displaced, but you don't have a house.
Yeah.
Years ago when we were teaching this, you had to have a house to make this work. Today you don't. You just need relationship. You need a cell phone and an internet connection.
You do.
I'm going to land it there, and I'm going to let Shay jump in, and then we'll jump right into the topic.
I love how he just glossed over that whole interaction between him and the said company, which is an HRA. A lot of times, I think people don't realize the importance of that person that plays the middleman. A lot of what you'll see in this industry is that those that need housing don't know where to look for housing, nor do they know that there's an advocate, whether it's an HRA provider or another organization type. That I'm just going to say the Angela Denise Foundation, I'm going to name my organization, that has access to other housing providers that can be extended for housing for that individual. A lot of people are homeless because they don't know that ILFs or shared housing models exist in their area, or the cost. So what happens is that HRA or that referral agency becomes that middle person that directs them to the housing resource. And I think that's what people don't understand, that this is way bigger than just us calling it an HRA. It's out there, right? There are people whose sole jobs is to make relationships with hospitals and organizations and be a part of the discharge plan. And that is an HRA. Okay. So just so you know, that is what we're talking about. We're not talking about charging somebody weekly or monthly to find them a place to reside. We're talking about a lucrative, a very important, business model that helps the homeless individual and the healthcare provider or the organization help find them placement. And that is a real thing, guys. It is all over the nation. A lot of people just don't know because they don't know. So for people like us who've been in the field, him as a social worker who's partnered with these organizations and not knowing that in the initial part of it that they didn't have houses, they were just the middle person.
Yep.
They were just the point person. Now knowing that, we show you how that being that point person can help you start or even position yourself to becoming an ILF owner and operator. So that's my say.
Absolutely. So let's jump right into what an HRA is, because I don't want to talk over anybody's head. I want to jump into what the HRA is, and then I want to either pull up, if we have it ready, I want to pull up that post that the lady commented on. And man, by any means, if you're here and not embarrassed by this, let us know, right? We welcome positive feedback, and this is not going to be a bashing session. Sometimes people just don't know. So I'm hoping that she was just like me years ago, that when she saw this concept, it was confusing. But hopefully within the next 7 minutes, right, she gets an understanding, or anybody that's for the first time hearing this, you get an understanding of what this is and how all parties win when you do this. So really quickly, right, everybody knows us for housing the homeless and the displaced. But a few years ago, God put it on my heart and said, well, Derek, what can you give people that don't have a house? They can't buy one, they can't lease one, or rent one.
Right.
Derek, remind them of the guy that you were upset with years ago who referred a client to you. So guys, the HRA stands for Housing Referral Agency. And that allows you guys to do exactly what we do, but you don't need to rent a house, lease a house, or buy one. You're going to leverage relationships. And the easiest example that I can give you guys is right now. Just here a couple weeks ago, and Angela Brooks, if you're in this room, raise your hand and tell the people. You sent me a client just a few weeks ago, right? This means that Angela did the work of an HRA, which means she did the social media. She did the outreach. She burnt her gas in driving places.
Yeah.
She used her internet connection to make cell phone calls and to have people drawn to her website. She done the work that we teach you all to get your phone ringing. And I didn't know this client. Excuse me. But when the phone call came through and Angela called me for the referral, my team did the assessment, which was my virtual assistant. Because if you read my shirt, we do a lot of what we do with VAs. My VA just answered the phone, did the assessment, found out that the guy was a great fit for my program. And as soon as we moved the gentleman in, the guy paid rent. I zailed Angela her referral fee, which was $300. And Angela, if I'm lying about it, you can tell me. So again, this is exactly what a referral fee is, and this is what a housing referral
Correct.
agent is. And to answer her original question, we don't charge the client, the homeless guy, for the placement.
Not at
We
all.
charge the person that's running the program as the entrepreneur and the housing provider. We charge them because they didn't do the work. They didn't know the guy, but because Angela did the work, right, to get her phone ringing and made the referral, that's how you make a referral fee. And watch this. On the other side of it, my virtual assistant this week, we received a call. The person was just say not a good fit for us. We made a referral to another young lady that we coach and that we teach. She works 7 days a week. So it's hard for her to get out and do the advertising and the
Yeah,
social media
but
and
she
the
has beds
meetings and
available.
all of these things. But because she has people around her that will refer into her, she got a placement. The guy is no longer homeless, and we made a referral fee. You see
Yeah.
how everybody wins with the HRA really slowly. You take a homeless guy that is now no longer homeless. You take us that made the referral fee, and now you take the person that is housing the person. They now get a good client that pays them rent every month. So I'm hoping you guys can see what a housing referral agent is. And now I'm going to read to you all because I'm sure you guys can see it on the screen. Jay, can they see that or
Oh,
just me?
yeah, because we're viewing it from live
Perfect.
as well.
So I want all of you guys to look at this text that came through, right? And I want to repeat one more time. We're not bashing this person.
No.
We're just educating. Because obviously when they saw this, they didn't know what a housing referral agency is. She says, how could this be lucrative? And watch me break down all of these answers line for line. First of all, this will be very lucrative because you're making referrals to people and you're not doing it for free. You're
Right.
using all of your resources. Maybe you bought the training from us. So that means you spent money to make money, right?
Correct.
You using your gas to drive around. You're paying your internet on your cell phone, and you're spending your
You're
time, which is more
promoting.
valuable than any of
Yeah.
this, by promoting it, by meeting with people. So it can be very lucrative as long as you build it. And any business can be lucrative, guys, but it may not be that from day one or week one
Correct.
or month two.
Very
Like
correct.
any business, you got to build it. And she says, or even ethical. Now, the ethical part she's talking about, if you read further, she's thinking that we're charging the individual, and we're not. She says, am I charging poor people for a fee to find a bed?
No.
Or am I charging the business owners a fee for finding them people? Yes, you are. Which I'm sure it's a job.
Yes to part
But see,
two.
she also notices that it's a job. So right there in that statement, so she's basically saying that she's going to do a job for free then. Because she says, which I'm sure it's a job, but why would they pay a fee to get people sent to them if they could just contact agencies and do it themselves for free?
And what
Now that I agree with, and let's pause there.
Let's pause there
Go ahead.
because what people, and this is a conversation that you and I have very often, right? People, not everybody is a people's person. And when you enter into this space, it's very easy to see that you have to, one, be very presentable. You have to know how to inform individuals of what you are, what you do, and the service you provide. And not everybody can get that message across very clearly,
Yep.
right?
Some people are just not good at marketing. They're
Right.
just good on the entrepreneur side of getting this house
Of
set
doing
up.
it, right? Of doing the work in regards to being the housing provider. So what you'll see in this is that a lot of times people don't have time because this takes time to build. People don't have time to foster the relationships or maintain the relationships. And that's where the housing referral agency comes in. That's going to be the people's person, right? Like we talk about Angela Brooks, we talk about Janine White, we talk about those two specifically a lot because of their tenacity, the way they build relationships in the community. Prime example, Janine lives in California and she's got relationships that she's built in Dayton, Ohio. She has relationships that she's built in several different cities within Florida and a multitude of other locations. Now, see, that is somebody that knows how to foster relationships and continuously maintain them. And what happens is in this space, a lot of people do not know or understand how to do that. And that's what causes their beds to stay empty. This is not a one call, one stop, one phone call, and everybody's going to always remember you. It doesn't work like that, right? You may be starting your entity or your business, your housing program, excuse me, on Monday. And because you've made a phone call or made 50 phone calls on Monday, you think those people are going to remember who you are. It doesn't work like that. It's continuous. It's continuous information giving, it's continuous relationship building, and it's not always gimme, 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 right? There's ways that you have to market yourself, and a lot of people don't have time for that. So what they prefer to do is be, listen, I'm a housing provider, I am great at housing providing, I don't know marketing, I am not very good at marketing, so I'm gonna let somebody else
So you're
market
allowing
for
somebody
me.
else to help you. Yeah.
Correct.
I love
So
that.
that is the benefit of that. So yes, it is a job. Anything you do within, being an entrepreneur is work until you hire staff and have the staff do the work for you. Hence, therefore, having people work a job.
And the thing
So
about the HRAs is that they're going to work for you for free until the
until
placement
the
happens.
placement happens. Some of
So
them may.
I
Some of
agree
them may
with
have
Shay.
other ordinance.
Like, why
Sorry.
wouldn't you want the extra help? I'm gonna give a better example because this is going to land home for most of you all. And I'm gonna use a cleaner. A cleaner, if you're in here, raise your hand and shout out to the people. A cleaner works very hard, ladies and gentlemen, 6 to 7 days a week on her job, which is a 9 to 5 job. But guess what? God put it on her heart to house people just like most of y'all.
Correct.
But a cleaner don't have time to go to hospitals every day like Shay and I as full-time entrepreneurs.
Exactly.
She may not have time to get on the phone and call social workers.
Because she's
That's
behind
why
her
we
desk,
utilize virtual assistants and HRAs. So how great is it that a cleaner got a client yesterday from my VA because I didn't answer the phone, I didn't do the social media, but my VA took a phone call, knows what a cleaner need is, and while a cleaner's at her job working, a cleaner got a great client.
Yeah.
And as soon as that client moved in and paid rent, a cleaner paid us our referral fee. So if that makes sense to you, everybody, put a number 3 in the chat. Yeah. If that makes sense to you that you can start a program but leverage other people to fill your beds, why wouldn't you do that? Because while a cleaner's at her 9 to 5 job working and can't even have her cell phone on, she's got other people on her behalf that will fill her empty beds.
That are doing a job.
That is what the HRA is.
But they're doing a job.
Absolutely.
So and that's the part. Like I just really want to hone in on that because I think people are it's interesting the overview or the perspective that people have when we talk about the HRA. And that was our initial perspective too, when we did not quite understand with that company that you were working with.
Yep.
But that again was because of a lack of knowledge. So all about this information today is going to be just more informative and educating you all on the many businesses that have been doing this for a very long time.
And what's so good about it, again, that to me, this is the stepping stone for most of you all. Most of you all that are watching this right now, and big shout out to the Taylor family. You guys are on an 80-inch screen TV with 15 people in front of it. So we appreciate that. Some people from your family and church. But what I'm excited about, including with the Taylor family, this is what's going to be able for you guys to start right now. Years ago, when I taught this to people, you had to have a house to make this work.
Yes.
Miss Cherie Slater just put it in the chat. She's working on relationships. Notice she didn't say real estate. Notice she didn't say, I'm trying to find a house. That is good. I'm trying to find real estate. That is good, Derek. I tell you guys all the time, the relationship with the HRA and this housing thing is bigger than the real estate. Because if you get the relationship right, talk to me, Katara, the real estate will come.
Yes.
So again, guys, and trust me, we're not even done reading this thing yet because there's more lines that I want to address. But the HRA is going to be the starting point for most of you all that have a 9 to 5 job and you want to start right now. But maybe your finances, you're not ready to buy a house, lease one, or rent one. But what if you can build relationships like Miss Slater just said, that now when you get this call from some guy because of what we've told you and taught you to do, you get this guy that's in Orlando. He's a military veteran and is ready to move to Orlando or Kissimmee. You should be calling my VA, Jess. Say, hey, Jess, I did exactly what Derek told me to do. And this guy said he want to move to Orlando. Could you guys interview him to see would he be a good fit? Because if that guy moves in and be a good fit, Miss Bunner V, I'm going to send you $300 so fast it will scare you. Ask Angela Brooks how fast I zailed her once I got that client. Ask a cleaner what it felt like being on her 9-to-5 job where her cell phone isn't allowed.
Yeah.
And she got a referral for a great client that moved in and paid rent, all orchestrated by my VA from the Philippines. Guys, that is some powerful stuff. Because if you're new to us, you don't know this, but we use VAs for everything that we do. So I'm going to bring up my VA, Jess, here in just a minute. But Jess is the one that orchestrated this whole thing. And like Miss Barnaby says, and that's a t-shirt, real estate equals relationship equals real estate. Now, Miss Barnaby is new to us, but look how fast she caught on to that.
And that's the thing.
And I've been saying that for so many months. And Katara is a great example of that. Katara, without me even saying it, can you type out what happened to you on your last house that you just got? You didn't know them people. That came to you through relationship. And I'm going to let you type it in the chat. That next line that I want to address, she said, it's like the idea of brokering poor people sounds crazy. Ma'am, let me give you a different perspective on how to look at that. Look at it in terms of you're brokering change, not you're brokering poor people. You're brokering change in the life of somebody else. Because if you do what we teach you in this 14-minute webinar that we give you for free, you can very well have somebody call your phone tomorrow. And if you don't have a house, but what if you go on social media and say, hey guys, I got this great guy named Benjamin Jones.
You know what's
funny? He needs a place to live. And if you have a housing program, give me a call. I want to partner with you so that we can keep this guy from being homeless on the street. That's what I mean about brokering change. You're brokering him from homeless to hopeful, and you're making a change in his life through the relationship that you built with somebody else.
Right.
Shay, want to hop in?
I do, because I don't even like the term brokering, right? I think because now you've taken the human aspect out of what it is.
Change.
Yeah, you're taking the human aspect out of what it is. So let's say that no one was ever available to help this person transition from homeless to hopeful, meaning that there was no middle person. There was no resource available to say, hey, I know X, Y, and Z housing providers, or I am this person that works with a multitude of housing providers that can assist you. What happens then? Right? Again, like you just said, broker and change. You've never given this person an opportunity to get from homeless to hopeful. That person never knows that there's an opportunity for housing. A lot of times we get into these situations, and Mr. Arthur is a prime example of this. A 70-plus-year-old gentleman that was living living on the sidewalks, on the streets. And this isn't not because he had some drug addiction. This wasn't because he was somebody that just didn't want to work. This was because life hit him. Okay, he wandered in a wilderness place for many years in his late 60s to 70s, and nobody would help. Instead of help, guess what he got? Thrown in jail. Instead of finding housing, guess what he got? What's the word? Trespassed from hotels and different things like that. Not a troublemaker, not somebody that does frivolous things or acts. What happened is this individual, one, did not know that there was a way to get housing because of his current situation.
Didn't know you all existed.
Did not know. Even though he was going to the hospitals for treatment, even though he was going and connecting with who he thought were the right people, no one redirected him to housing. So guess what happens now? When the HRA or the housing provider now meets up with these healthcare professionals and says, hey, you want to get off the streets? I just made a connection with a program that is a resource for housing. Can I get you off the streets? Are you willing to take this next step?
Yep.
When he says yes, that phone rings to Derek, who was the HRA, but also had a house. So don't let that slip by you. He was still an HRA. He was a housing referral agency. at that time. It's just that we still had assets, the house as an asset. When he said yes, now this gentleman can go from living in the street at 70 something years old. He can now get access to his amazing pension, because I forgot to tell you, he was a engineer, a civil engineer for many, 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 many years.
Yep.
Not only did he get access to his pension, he now receives his SSI or SSDI because he has a disability. And now guess what? He's housed with somebody in a safe place with a phone, access to internet, access to everything he needs, including the access to a case manager, caseworker that's able to come to the location of where he's residing, not having to search around to wonder where he's at, to provide services, which now causes everything to be in alignment. What was that? Pension, Social Security benefits. He's got a safe place to stay. He's got access to a phone and internet to do whatever they need to do when they work together to get all of his ducks in a row. And now guess what? Within under a year, within less than 1 year, this gentleman is in his own house. You heard me correctly. His own house, taking more trips than any one of us on this line is taking, and enjoying life. Why? Because there was someone that introduced the caregiver to housing. And that, my friends, is the HRA. And I say that with so much passion because I think what happens is things get lost in translation or transcription, and people go with a head knowledge instead of a heart knowledge. What happens is if nobody's available to guide this population to housing, we still maintain the same issue, people on our streets. Right or wrong?
Yep.
And I say that because Mr. Arthur came to our last event and shared from his own lips with over 20 something people in that house that day that he spoke to, 20, 30, I don't, whatever the number was. He said, out of all of you, if every last one of you had 5 to 10 houses, it still wouldn't be enough. So that is why it is so imperative that we have people that are making and continuing to nurture these relationships between healthcare institutions and the housing providers to meet the need, because there's a gap. There is a significant gap. And without our HRA providers and housing providers, we would still continually see the same cycle. So that's my soapbox.
All right. So good stuff. Thank you so much, Shay. I appreciate that. Now, before we go any further within this letter, I still have to ask, does anybody have any questions? Does anybody agree with this lady? Right? And I hope to God that she's here, and maybe she doesn't feel comfortable responding, but if she's here, ma'am, feel more than welcome to respond.
Absolutely.
Let us know that if we've changed your thought process in terms of what this is, or if you feel the same way. We respect it either way. But I want to address the last 2 lines of it, right? So she says, hey, I'll charge you $60 to tell you where you can sleep, or give me $60 and I'll give you someone that's homeless.
Can I tell you something?
She says, all money ain't good money. This lacks integrity. So again, I hope by now, this lady, in terms of hearing what we're saying and the story that Shay just told, there is no way Mr. Arthur would have been taken from homeless to hopeful if somebody didn't play the middleman, which is the HRA, to get him where he is today. And again, what if you take the phone call and you can't help Mr. Arthur?
What do you say?
Many years ago, I would have told you to say, hey, Mr. Arthur, I'm sorry, but call 911 if it's an emergency, or call 611 or 411 and get you some help. But I don't have a house. Today, through the HRA, you should take that same phone call, take Mr. Arthur's information, and now work on relationships to see who has a house, or somewhere where Mr. Arthur can live. And hopefully, if you do this the right way, you will charge that guy a fee. Now, trust me.
And you ain't charging Mr. Arthur nothing.
Right. We get people that come to us and say, well, Derek, should I actually charge somebody to do this? Well, if you want to do this work for free, that's on you. We teach you guys how to make an impact and an income at the same time doing God's will. We're not doing this because Derek said it's cool.
Right.
God says the poor and the needy will always be among us. And if you can use your cell phone, which you pay your bill every month, running your mouth and looking at social media about all kind of other stuff, why not use that phone to leverage and do what God has asked us to do by housing the homeless and the displaced? Years ago, your excuse could have been, well, Derek, I don't have a house. Not anymore. Not since we've created the HRA. Because today you can turn yourself into a business and you can name it. For me, it's Second Chance Housing, right? It's not Derek Forston, but I built the program that takes people from homeless to hopeful. We create pathways out of homelessness.
Correct.
And sometimes that's through a referral, and sometimes it's through me housing them myself because I do have the housing. But the HRA is for a lot of people that want to get started right now, but you don't want to wait until you get a house to buy it, lease it, or rental arbitrage.
Or it's not even that they want to
start
wait
now.
It's not even that they want to wait. Some people are so phenomenal at relationship building that their phone starts ringing immediately. Yep. So it's not that they want to wait, Derek. It's time. The time is speeding up before them, and the phone calls are coming in. So now what happens? Do you just say, sorry, I don't have no beds available, click? Sorry, I have no beds available, click? You are not an adequate resource. So guess what happens? Your ship done sailed because they've called you 10, 15, 20, 30 times. And every time they've called you, you said, I don't have a bed available, or I'm not ready yet, or I'm not open yet. So what now happens is you're not a resource to them, right? When you're not a resource, they say bye. But if you say, hey, give me a few moments, let me reach out to some of my partners in the community that may have some availability that can help you. Your phone has been ringing. That individual partner that you call doesn't have that relationship that you have. What people have to realize is there's so many social service providers that work within one organization that you may never get a phone call from every one of them, even though you've got a partnership in one organization. You may never get to speak in or connect with every last one of those case managers in that facility. The reason being, some may not they've got their favorite people who they call. You don't fit their box, right? So you've got to realize that everybody's capacity to make relationships are so different. And everybody's going to really connect with a specific person when they enter into this field. Certain people just have preferences. Why I can't speak today? Preferences,
choices.
Yeah, on who they want to talk to or who they want to connect with. So again, it's all about availability, access, and giving people the opportunity to know that there is housing out there. That's some of the biggest things that we hear from anyone that we bring into our houses. They didn't know that this existed. They did not know that there was an opportunity. They did not know. Had it not been for Angela to connect me to you, I would have never known about this housing resource. Had it not been for Janine, I would have never known that this even existed. And these are real conversations from real people that have gone from homeless to housed. So this is what I want people to understand. The client or the potential resident, doesn't come out of pocket in no way to the Housing Referral Agency. Okay? That person is just the middleman, making sure that they have a place to stay and as fast as possible.
That's it. You are the connector. And how great is it that you can connect people and get paid for it? How great is it that you can do God's will and get paid for it? If a man don't work, he don't eat, right? So I want to make sure that you guys are able to feed your family, because the lady that said this, you're probably so new to us that you don't know that we live by a couple things, right? But one of them is this, right? We want to do God's will. We want to help people.
Yeah.
We want to be respected by the community. And I want y'all to make enough money to feed your family while you're doing it. Does that make sense? So again, the way that we view things is this. We want to love God, love people, love real estate, but we want to do God's will. We want to help people.
We do.
We want to be respected by the community, but I also want you to make enough money to feed your family so that you can build the kingdom. Because all of this is building the kingdom.
Yeah.
Notice none of what we're talking about is about selfish gain. That's why this business is so powerful,
And important.
because really it's a ministry. You can call this real estate, you can call it a business, but the bottom line to what this is literally we're doing what God told us to do. We just so happen to be using the tool of real estate to do it.
Exactly.
The Bible says the poor, the needy, and the widow, we should be taking care of those folks. And some of y'all gonna feed the homeless, some of y'all gonna clothe them. We believe that we get housing first and we get housing right, everything else can happen. So why not be a housing referral agency to make referrals to people for housing before you get a house? Because again, guys, where this whole room came from is I made a post, and I'm gonna read you guys the post that I put, and this was a response in that group. So we just want to bring some education. This is not to bash anybody. We just want to shed light on how this is done and why it's done. I put a post that says, consider becoming a housing referral agent if you want to break into the shared housing model, but don't yet own a property. It's a valuable way to get started and make a meaningful impact and an income in this field. No property required. So if you got a cell phone, an internet connection, and the willingness to run your mouth and tell people that you provide housing, you're going to be a no-brainer for this, because that's all it takes. If you love God, love people, and love real estate, and you want to get into housing, consider being an HRA. And if you just text the phrase more info, MOREINFO, if you text that to 407-326-0086, we give you a free webinar on how to do it.
Yep.
Right? And then we've been talking about how do you utilize a virtual assistant that can do all the work for you while you at your 9-to-5 job.
Derek,
so I hope you guys got some questions. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
If you've ever imagined of starting your own housing program, there is no reason that after we're done here tonight that you shouldn't go to forstonconsultants.com/webinars and watch the webinar, guys, because a lot of you have wanted to start a group home or traditional assisted living facility, but that stuff takes license. It takes a lot of time to open. There's a lot of red tape to jump through. You have to ask for permission. We teach you guys how to open an ILF, an independent living facility, where you can house the homeless, displaced adults, or anybody that has a guaranteed income, and it doesn't require a license, and you don't have to own the property. Make sure you watch that free webinar at forstonconsultants.com/webinars, and then set up a free strategy call so that me and my team can get you started. Let's get back to the show.
All right. Well, thank y'all so much for being here. We super appreciate it. Don't forget, if you're new to us, text the word new to 407-326-0086. We got an absolute free gift that we want to give you. It's our newest ebook, How to Avoid the ILF Fiasco, the 15 biggest mistakes that I made when I first got started. I give you that, guys, for free. We're doing that for the first 90 days. So if you text the word new, you can get that book for free. Because after the 90 days, it will be for sale.
Yeah.
But also don't forget about September 10th, which is literally in just a couple days. That's in 3 days, guys, that we're having an ILF workshop of, I think, a question that somebody asked in the chat. How do you build these relationships in the community? That's exactly what that workshop is about. And normally, guys, that kind of conversation would only be inside of our one-on-one coaching. But what we've been doing twice a month now is giving you guys workshops for only $97 so that you guys can kind of pick and choose and a la carte these services. So September 10th, 7 p.m. on Zoom, guys. It's only $97. We're going to be teaching how to leverage the partnerships within your community so that you can fill these empty beds and do what this lady's talking about, right?
Yeah.
Fill the beds yourself and maybe not lean on other people.
Right.
I'm also going to give you guys the communication tools that we use. What does the email sound like? So I'm literally going to write the email and I'm going to give y'all what gets us great responses back when we're trying to get the word across about what is this ILF? How can we build a relationship together, Mr. Social Worker and Case Manager? How can I become a preferred vendor so that you guys just call me all the time for all the placement?
Correct.
So I'm going to give you guys the email, the verbiage, and we're going to have over 90 minutes of just giving the game away. September 10th, and the way you guys can get into that workshop and get the information for it, text the word leverage to the same phone number at 407-326-0086. 0086. And I'll find that somewhere and I'll put it on the screen. But if you guys text the word leverage, just that word by itself, I'm going to scroll it across the bottom of your screen. That's the same number to get your free gift. So if you text the word new, do it again and text the word leverage, and it'll give you both of those, the webinar and the information for the workshop that's on the 10th. You guys can get all of that. Shay, back on you.
I want to say something, because you stated before we went to break about the poor and needy always being among us, and we always like to share about hearing either "well done, thy good and faithful servant," or even hearing when the Lord says, certain things. So I just wanted to read Matthew 25:34-37 really quickly, because this is one of the reasons why we do what we do. And this is what thus saith the Lord. So then the king will say to those on his right hand, "Come, you blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundations of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in. Excuse me. I was naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came to me." Then the righteous will answer him, saying, "Lord, when did we see you hungry or feed you, or thirsty and give you a drink? When did we see you a stranger and take you in, or naked and clothe you? Or when did we see you sick or in prison and come to you?" And the king will answer and say to them, "Assuredly, I say to you, in as much as you did it to one of the least of these, my brethren, you did it to me. You've done it unto me." So just be mindful that as we are doing this, the goal is to not do this in a manner to belittle or make people feel less than. The goal is to go out and truly be the hands and feet of Christ and provide those things that God knows is needed for man in the earth. Right? God's not just going to come down and say, "Here you go. Go here's the keys." That is what we are here for. We're here to be conduits of change, right? Agents on assignment for the will of God. So all in all, I just wanted to end that with this. When we do all of these things with integrity, when we do all of these things with a right heart, when we do all of these things with no ill agendas or motives, but to truly do unto those that need this in just a significant way, with pure hands, a pure heart, pure motives, we are truly operating as God's vessels, willing vessels in the earth to do his will. So I just wanted to share that.
Absolutely. So I'm the guy that usually breaks all of that down to a more simple term. You guys hear me say this all the time. The Bible said, in terms of what you just heard Shay, that when you do these things that she just named, feed and house and clothe the homeless, God said it's like you're doing it unto me. So I always say, how great is it that you can be doing God a favor? Like, that's powerful. A lot of y'all do a lot of people favors throughout the day, throughout the week, at your job. Can you imagine doing a favor for God? Can you imagine the reward and the return on that? So that's how I'll just kind of sum that up.
Yeah.
So really quickly, and what are we referring people to? This right here, a clean, safe living environment. Because before you get your own place, why not refer somebody else to what you guys see on this screen right now?
Yeah.
Why stop your blessing just because you say, "Well, Derek, I don't have a house yet"? Well, why not build a relationship with somebody else, like even me? Because the good thing about the HRA, guys, doesn't matter where you live at. The HRA works in all 50 states. We have people that live in California that refer into places that are in Ohio.
Correct.
We got people that live in Detroit that refer into places in Florida.
That's right.
So again, guys, can you imagine having a business or a job to where the blessing of God was already built into it? And that's what this housing and this HRA model is.
Correct.
And no more having the excuse of not having the house to do it in. Because now you don't need the house. You just need other people that already have the house.
Correct.
And build relationships with them. Okay. So I haven't asked in about 10 minutes, but I want to ask again. Are there any questions? Are there any concerns about anything that we've talked about today? I would hate to keep talking and going on, and people are not really realizing what we're saying or how it works.
For
So I just want
understanding,
to
yeah.
pause it for 2 seconds. We'll also take a quick break, but if you guys have any questions or any concerns, we're here for at least another 15 minutes or so, right? I'm not going to be here super long today, but I want to just make sure that everybody has the understanding that today there is no more waiting on you to start housing people, because most of the time you wait because you don't have a house. No more of that. Turn yourself into a housing program. And to pick a name to be real easy, if you're trying to think of a name, maybe take your last name and put solutions on it. So if your last name is Jones, you're Jones Solutions, you're Jones Enterprise, you're Jones Group, something of that nature, right? So again, the first step that we tell everybody is turn yourself into a business.
Yeah.
Get rid of your first and last name, because don't do this in your regular name. That's just our business coaching. You can get into a lot of trouble like that. Ask me about it. $40,000 lawsuit because I will do things in Derek's name. That's dumb. So when you know better, you do better. I'm a consultant, so I teach it now. So every dumb mistake that I've ever made in life when it comes to business, it's just about in a book, it's in a course, and I come here 3 days a week teaching it. So don't do this in your regular name if you don't have to. Don't do this in your regular name. Start a business. The next one, get a CRM system. Hopefully you go to digitalflowsolutions.net and get your website and your CRM. Because how do you keep up with all of these people,
right,
all of these contacts? You can get confused by that. That's why, again, on September 10th, I'm going to even talk about what software are we using. How can I email 13,000 case managers with the touch of one button to get my message across?
Right.
What software are we using? What systems are we using? How do we utilize the virtual assistant? All of that's going down September 10th, 7 p.m. and is only $97.
Yep.
So if you enjoyed this free teaching that we do 3 days a week, can you imagine what the paid stuff is like? And again, if you're trying to build your program, you should not miss Tuesday on the 10th of how to leverage and build relationships within your community. Because we're going to cater to where you guys live at. So we're going to take a quick break, and I hope you guys have 1,000 questions because I want to answer every one of them.
Hey, what's going on, family? Just to let you know really quick, everything that you're listening to right now, I actually have it in a more structured way in a webinar. So when you guys get done here, go to forstonconsultants.com, click the tab that says webinars, and there's 2 webinars there. One is for you to be the actual ILF operator, meaning that you want to do it. And then the other one is the HRA. That stands for Housing Referral Agency, where you're able to take people from homeless to hopeful, and you actually don't need the real estate. It stands for Housing Referral Agency, and we call it a business in a box. But definitely go to forstonconsultants.com, watch both of those webinars, then set up a free strategy call with me and my team, and let's see how we can get you started. Back to the show.
I'm back into it. So right before we end, I don't think I see any questions in the chat. So I'm going to run through this HRA really quickly, probably the fastest I've ever done it. But how to start a housing referral agency utilizing VAs. Guys, I'm very busy today, right? So I can't answer my phone and do social media because I like coaching and pouring into people and housing people.
Yeah.
But in terms of how it all happens, excuse me, we now utilize virtual assistants. Look at the hiccups. Excuse me, y'all. And how we'll do that again. And what is a housing referral agency? Really fast. Somebody that acts on the behalf of somebody that needs housing. You're the middle guy. You're the go-to person. You're the solution for shared housing. Why would you want to be a HRA? Because God told you to be involved in housing and house people. Because you desire to house the homeless and the displaced. Because you have a property and maybe you're full to capacity, but your phone keeps ringing. So you want to help other people. Yeah. You don't just turn people down, right?
No crab in a bucket.
You want to be a much needed change in your community. You want to be a housing solution. Yep. These are all the reasons of why you would want to be it. And what is a virtual assistant that can help you do this? I recommend that you guys visit www.va101.co. This is where we get all of our virtual assistants from. It's $5 an hour. And these people will break their back for you and your business. Absolutely. Shay and I have 9 VAs now, and we couldn't do what we do without these VAs. I couldn't be as great as I think I am without God first, virtual assistants next, softwares and systems, and that's digitalflowsolutions.net for us. So again, digital flow solutions .net is the software system that we use that does all of our communications,
Yeah.
text message, emailing, campaigns, everything, social media.
Yeah.
Can you imagine doing one
Phone.
post that goes out to all the social media forums at one time? That's what Digital Flow Solutions does to us. And we're going to talk about that on September 10th of how do we communicate with social workers? How do we tag them, especially in our system, to get specific messages? How can the VA send out my emails? How can they manage my phone system? How can they manage building the relationships in the community? Some of y'all got 9 to 5 jobs and it's hard for you to do any of this stuff.
Or you're constantly missing phone calls.
What happens if you miss phone calls all the time, Shay, in this
on
business?
To the next. On to the next.
They move on to the next.
Like, remember the time we got the phone call from the police station? And they said they just received a list of numbers and names. And she said, I literally just went down the list. And that's literally what she did. She says, I just called, and whoever didn't answer, I crossed them off the list and I went on to the next one, because they needed urgent placement for about 30 people. And that's what they do. So if you're not available, you don't answer the phone, then but that's what ends up happening.
Absolutely. And some people know, Derek, what do I call myself? You can call yourself whatever you want to, because really the down core of who you are, you're a housing provider, you're a housing specialist, or you can call yourself a housing referral agent or agency when you get bigger. So when we first started, I was an agent, just me. Now, because I got a big team of these VAs, I'm an agency, and we just happen to have houses, right? So that's what you're going to call yourself. You're the go-to person for housing. Absolutely. And again, we talk about this all the time. What do you need to get started? Create a business. Remove yourself from the whole scenario and create a business, guys.
Absolutely.
Solutions Enterprise Group should probably be the ending of your name.
Yeah.
So like me, I'm Second Chance Housing. But what I know today, I wouldn't teach y'all to use the word housing. That's why everybody under us, watch this. Tiffany, Katara, Angela, Miss Tia, put you guys' names in the chat and show people what a name should look like. So if you're under our coaching and you've gotten a name while under us, I just want to show the people the difference of when you know better, you do better.
Yeah.
So 6-7 years ago, I picked Second Chance Housing. But what I know today, Shay, I should have been Second Chance Solutions, Second Chance Enterprise, Second Chance Group, Second Chance Consulting, Second Chance Inc.
Something.
I could have been any of that stuff other than housing.
Yeah.
Because why do I say that? Only for banking purposes. My coaching goes beyond this, y'all. Right? So when I teach you to go to the bank and ask for money and big lines of credit, they don't want to know that you're dealing in real estate per se. So look at the Angela Denise Foundation, which is ran by Shay. Look at the Clarissa Project. Look at Good Samaritan Solutions. Look at Reaching for Success Solutions. Look at 311 Solutions. See, all of those people listen to the coaching and they can go to the bank and get the bag, as the young people say, right? So again, turn yourself into a business.
Correct.
I'm not going to go deep into should it be LLC, S Corp, C Corp, nonprofit. I will say this. Shay is a nonprofit. I am an LLC. It was easier for me to get an LLC than it was to build a board, have meetings, take notes. You don't really own it. Right? You don't own your nonprofit, even though you founded it, if that's a word.
That's correct.
So that's a whole another teaching, but get a logo and a website. Guys, that's all you need to get started. And all of that can be done from Digital Flow Solutions. And really quickly, you're going to promote this on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, X, and probably more importantly, word of mouth and other Facebook groups. So I see a lot of you all that posting even our groups of the bed availability and things of that nature.
Good job.
Adams Family Services, love that. You can end your name in services. That's good because it removes you from housing.
But
it removes you from real estate per se. And guys, don't get it twisted. The social worker, the case manager, and the social service provider, they don't care what your name is. When I speak about your name, I'm talking about when you go do business at the bank. See how my coaching is different from everybody else you've heard? I'm talking about when I want you to go and get the bag, lines of credit, money, things of that nature, right? And a lot of people don't know this before they're told, just like me 6, 7 years ago. Guys, I didn't know this. Somebody taught me. And because I'm a consultant, everything I learn and pay thousands of dollars to learn, I usually just give it to y'all. Most of my business coaching, I don't say this kind of as like braggadocious, I pay a lot of money for, and most of y'all get it for free, especially you IMB people.
Yeah.
My IMB, ILF Master Blueprint family, y'all get everything I've ever learned in other courses, because that's just how I am. So again, when you're talking about promoting this, Instagram, Facebook, because guess where most social workers see us at, Shay? Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Derek, I was on my lunch break, and I saw you talking about that. Can I meet with you and your team Wednesday at 9 o'clock a.m.? Absolutely, no problem.
Yep.
And then another way that we'll do this, and we're really good at it, is using these VAs. And none of my VAs are from the U.S., and that's what makes it affordable. All of my VAs are either from the Philippines, Nigeria, Pakistan, and Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
So Tara is our executive administrator. She's the boss over all businesses and everything that we do. Jess runs Second Chance Housing, my housing program. Yeah. Jess is the one that I told you about 20 minutes ago that made the referral to Miss Eklina, who lives in Orlando. Eklina's working her 9-to-5 job. She busy, ain't allowed to have her cell phone, but we're making referrals into her program. Lord have mercy. We can call her double up because she's making money at her job and she's running her housing program.
Exactly.
Years ago, Shay, it would have been hard to her to do that without the extra help from outside people. Alex runs our digital marketing company, Digital Flow Solutions, which is where all of you guys should get your website and CRM from. This is catered for social workers, case managers, and social services. So if you're running a housing program, you need digitalflowsolutions.net. I'll repeat that. If you are running a housing program of any kind, licensed, unlicensed, oversight, no oversight, your CRM system should be ran from digitalflowsolutions.net. That's a cheat code. And without Danish from Pakistan, we couldn't do none of our back-end stuff to these websites, the automations, the workflows,
not even
the things that happens by itself.
The integration,
just couldn't do it.
Things that he's huge in what we do.
So again, guys, the last thing that I'll say about the housing referral agent, and a lot of you all are doing this, join the Facebook groups and tell people, what do you do?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that have these housing programs but have no clue how to market.
Yep.
Can you imagine being the HRA to them? And this goes back to what that lady was saying in that group. Why would you want to do that? Because a lot of people got a 9-to-5 job and don't have time. Some people are shy. They're afraid to talk to people.
Yep.
So how great is it that you can come the middleman to all of that?
To be a resource to a resource.
And to be a resource to a resource.
Yeah.
So join Facebook groups that are about homelessness, social workers, case managers, social services, housing should be blinking.
Yeah.
And people that post rooms for rent. These are all the people that you guys should be wanting to build relationships with. I hope you guys are enjoying the information. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Hey, what's going on, family? Are you somebody that needs some help in your life or your business? Are you somebody that has a lot of ideas, but you can't quite get them out? You probably need a virtual assistant, guys. And again, at $5 an hour, that's an absolute cheat code for you, your life, your family, and your business. Because oftentimes these virtual assistants, guys, can do a lot of what we can't. And they often come with a bachelor or a master's degree. So when it comes to the educational side of it, guys, these VAs are, again, the cheat code to everything that you're probably looking for. Most of you guys have a full-time job, so it's hard to kind of implement a lot of the ideas that God has given you or the ideas that are in your heart. You should be visiting va101.co to get a virtual assistant that can help you in your life and your business and get some of these ideas out of your brain onto paper and then to implementation. One more time, visit va101.co, not .com, but va101.co and get a virtual assistant, guys, for $5 an hour. It's the cheat code, and it'll be the best decision that you ever made. I promise.
You promise?
I promise, Shay, if they get a virtual assistant from VA 101, it'll be one of the best decisions they've made in 2024.
You said, I
And
promise.
the reason why I say that, because most of y'all have jobs, you guys are busy,
Yeah.
you guys are involved in your church, your kids are in sports, school is back in.
Yeah.
So a lot of y'all don't have the time.
Busy life.
Kind of, life be lifing.
Life.
But I always say, who are you to say you don't have time for something God has put on your heart? So the devil is a liar. And that's why with just about every coaching program that we have, Shay, we actually give them a virtual assistant to make all of this easy.
We sure do.
So again, a lot of you all may choose to do this yourself, but if you want to do this with a virtual assistant, I absolutely recommend getting our do-it-yourself version. We have three coaching styles here at Forston Consultants. One is our hand-holding, which is our one-on-one coaching.
Correct.
And that's called the ILF Mastery Blueprint. The HRA model is inside of that. The next model that we have is called the ILF Accelerator.
Yep.
This is for people that feel like you kind of sort of know what this is. Maybe you have a property already and you want a faster start and you don't need the beginnings of the teaching.
Yeah.
That's another coaching style. And the HRA is involved in that coaching. And last but not least, we have a do-it-yourself version, which is our most affordable. And our HRA is inside of that model. So before we end today, we'll make sure that we answer all of your questions. We'll talk about the three coaching products individually. And again, just make sure that you guys have the understanding before we get y'all out of here. So we've been doing really good and not keeping y'all guys like we used to for 3 and 4 and 5 hours. We've been doing really good at that. We're actually just over an hour today. So what we'll do is look for any more questions, any more concerns. I'm going to explain the three coaching styles that we offer, and then we're going to get you guys out of here because guess what? I got some work to do today. A lot of you guys know that we launched a brand new business not even 20 days ago. Yeah. In fact, this room and today is brought to you by PowerStreamSolutions.biz. That's our newest business to where we do pressure washing, car detailing, soft washing, and we do commercial and residential. So if you got a dirty driveway, you got a dirty office building or house, and you live in Central Florida, let us know. We want to clean it. So this business is catered to helping supplement our housing program at Second Chance Housing. It also is giving jobs to a lot of the guys that we're housing that are military veterans, war veterans, and guys are just bored with nothing to do, and they keep begging me for work. This new business, guys, PowerStreamSolutions.biz, please go and check it out.
It's been fun.
It's going to help them because Shay and I like to power wash.
Yeah.
In fact, if you guys go to PowerStream Solutions
look at my pink shoes
and Facebook, you will see a lot of Shay actually pressure washing. And Shay wants to be known for her pink boots. She's building a song for it. So please, we ask for your feedback. Please go right now.
I love it.
Especially if you have a second device. Go to PowerStream Solutions at Facebook. Look at those videos of Shay pressure washing and turning people's concrete from black, grimy, green algae to brand new concrete. So that's what we do. And again, it helps supplement our housing program, but it also gives jobs to these military veterans. And we're also serving military veterans, elderly adults. And for the month of September, if you know a military veteran or elderly adult in the area of Central Florida that needs their driveway done because the HOA is on their back, but they can't afford it or they can't just physically do it, let us know. We want to be able to bless an elderly adult and a military veteran, and we may do a couple of them. So let us know. Visit PowerStreamSolutions.biz. You guys can click the button that says free quote. Let us know what you want. It's a lot of check boxes. You can type stuff in, and my team will send you guys a free quote, and I'll show up and do the work. And we're also training military veterans and allowing them the skill set of learning this.
Yeah.
So that's why we're excited to be able to give back and train some of these military veterans to actually give them jobs, a sense of well-being, and like they're busy to do something, self-worth, because they keep saying, Derek, I'm bored. You don't have to work for us.
Nothing to do.
And this business, guys, was solely built to help them, keep them busy, but also put some money in their pocket.
Exactly.
Shay?
And then y'all get to see My pink boots. Look at my
So
pink
please
shoes. Look at
look at
my
the
pink
pink
shoes.
shoes. So that's Shay's new thing. So please go and support. In fact, y'all, we're liking it so much. I may get a pair of pink boots too,
And then we both gonna
just to
sing,
be
look at the pink
matching. So
shoes.
definitely go to Power Stream Solutions on Facebook. Show us some love.
Join
Like
the
the
family.
page.
Yeah.
Follow it. Send us any requests for some concrete. We also detail cars, vans, trucks, anything that needs to be pressure washed or soft washed. We can do it.
And you get to see our clients too. You get to see
Absolutely.
some of our
Yep.
guys out there
Sure
with
do.
us. They all laugh at my pink boots, but they like it. They think I'm cool. But I love being able to train them, show them a new skill set, letting them understand the concept behind. There's a lot to know and learn when it comes to
Absolutely.
pressure washing, right? You don't just get out there and pressure wash the ground with water. It's so intricate.
Right. It's chemicals
and
that
it's
are involved.
fun.
It's
Yeah, it's fun.
different equipment from the surface cleaner to the wand. So we're making a lot of our reels exciting. We're showing you guys a lot of footage. So if there's anything that we're not showing there, please let us know. So, and as our family, I'm asking all of you all to go and support Power Stream Solutions. Just go and put a little comment in the chat, at least follow it and like it, say something. We're also asking for Google reviews too. So if we come out and do some work for you, especially some of that free work that we're offering the military veteran or the elderly adult, all we ask in return is for a Google review. So we're excited about that. I'm teaching that to other people. So if you're a male or a female, here in about probably 3 weeks or so, not that I'm going to do a whole course and all of that, but I want to show people how we started this company, Shay, because years ago, 15 years ago, really long time ago, I used to pressure wash for a living.
He did.
Before I bumped into real estate. But guys, I was a hustler. No website, no Facebook, no Instagram, none of these things that are like now. So I'm excited to restart a new business to where I can put all of this Google review, Google My Business, website, CRM system, social media, to now see what that brings. Because again, I want to be able to not only serve military veterans and elderly people, I want to be able to give jobs to a lot of the military veterans that we're housing that are looking for work. So we're excited.
Because the goal is 6 months. So for those that don't know, the goal is we're going to be pretty much hands-on this for 6 months. And then the prayer is that we can hand it over to a responsible resident and help them build business, right? And give them an opportunity to oversee and run a business that is operational. So we're excited about that. So join us on the journey, and don't forget, look at my pink shoes. Look at my pink shoes.
So also, before we go, just want to be a quick reminder, September 10th is a paid workshop, guys. Only $97 to show you guys how do we get all of these social workers and case managers to blow our phones up. How do you build a relationship? What does it sound like? What technology are we using to do so? How do we implement the virtual assistant to do it for us? Guys, remember, while I was busy this week running around and coaching and teaching, my VA Jess was able to make referrals to help other people get great clients, but we also made a referral fee. So how do we do that? So we're going to discuss, how do we make it make sense? How do you explain the ILF model? What does the email sound like? And probably most important, Shay, how do we communicate it? So I'm finding out, Shay, that a lot of people just simply don't know what the communication sounds like. So not only, Shay, am I going to verbally tell them, I'm going to give them email templates of what causes us to be preferred vendors. So again, Tuesday that's coming up on the 10th is only $97. Text the word leverage. That's the only word. Just text the word leverage to 407-326-0086, and we'll send you the information to sign up for the workshop. But also, if you say, so with Derek, I want the original information to learn about what an ILF is and what is all of this. You text more info, MOREINFO, to the same phone number. And guys, we'll send you that information, and that will give you a free discovery call with me and my team to help you guys get started so that you understand what this is, how to do it, and so that we can welcome you to the ILF Mastery Blueprint family. And no more of you being on the outside looking in.
Come on
because
in.
What we're finding out too, Shay, and this is not to be funny, but a lot of people are losing their jobs, getting pay cuts. And we say this all the time, guys, your job isn't guaranteed. But guess what is? the need for housing is guaranteed because everybody needs it, no matter where you live at. So if I were you guys, I would absolutely consider the ILF Mastery Blueprint in terms of our coaching. That'll be the last thing that we'll go over. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back to go over our coaching, and then I'm gonna get you guys out of here.
So Dennis, in this independent living facility model, right, which y'all call ILFs, what kind of residents can I house in this kind of model? David, that's a great question. And that's actually what makes the ILF model so great, is because it's flexible. So prime example, you can house military veterans, elderly adults, women that are escaping domestic violence, and the list goes on and on and on. So Dennis, where do you get your residents from? I see you guys on TikTok and Facebook, you guys getting all of these houses. Like, where in the world are you getting these people from? Yeah, that's actually pretty easy. Forston Consultants teaches us to use social media such as Instagram, Facebook, to let people know who we are, what we do, but probably most importantly, who do we serve? And we do that very consistently. So every day, 7 days a week, there's something being posted about what we do and who we serve, but also building relationships with social workers and case managers. Again, letting them know who we are, what we do, and most importantly with them, that we're available.
Dennis, how in the world are you able to do this without a license, bro?
David, remember the reason why we don't need a license, because remember, the clients that we serve, they're independent. So that means that they can take their own medications, they can provide their own transportation, and they can cook and provide their own food. Dennis, man, you seem to know a lot about this independent living stuff, man. How do you know so much? Well, first of all, I graduated from Forston Consultants University, and I have a master's degree in independent living facilities. And I joined the Forston crew every Monday on YouTube at 6 p.m. Eastern. They go live, and that guy Derek, man, he give the game away. So I'm always there. So Dennis, what in the world are the requirements to get started with something like this? The only requirement for this, David, is a big heart for God, his people, and the love for real estate. That's it. And bro, don't think I ain't listening, because I am listening, but where can I find more information like this at, man? Because I really want to get started, man. David, if I were you, I'd follow Derek Forston on Facebook and TikTok, and then I'd follow Forston Consultants on everything else in terms of Instagram, Facebook, and on YouTube. Again, really slowly, David, because you're hard-headed. I'd follow Derek Forston at Facebook on his personal page. I'd follow him on TikTok, but I will also follow Forston Consultants on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Don't forget, David. Hey, Dennis, man, I really appreciate that, man. I'm going to do exactly what you told me to do. I'm going to follow Forston Consultants on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. No problem, David. That's actually what I'm here for. And by the way, where did you get that hoodie? I like that. Oh, this? I got this from Second Chance Apparel. I'll put the link below. This is for aspiring entrepreneurs. And the reason why I love to support it is that every shirt or hoodie that you purchase goes back into housing the homeless.
All right, all right. Well, let's jump right back into it.
Let's do it.
Let's see.
Oh, let's do
Yeah,
it.
so let's jump back into it. So we're getting ready to close, like that Baptist preacher say.
We're getting ready.
So
to
right before we go,
close,
let me
y'all.
remove this. Well, actually, I'll leave that because that's fine. But I want to go over the coaching. So there's 3 ways to get into our coaching. Obviously, well, actually 4 ways. The first way is the absolute free way, right? So if you say, well, Derek, I don't have no money, I ain't buying no coaching. No problem. I promised God over 7, 8 years ago. I said, God, if you let me get into this and let me leave my job, I'll go all over the world teaching it. And God, I'll take no credit. So I come here every Monday, every Tuesday, and every Saturday and give this game away, right? So every Saturday, we usually cater to the HRA, the Housing Referral Agency model. But every Monday and Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern, we talk about how to be the ILF operator, meaning you want to do this yourself. Never mind being the referral agent, meaning you want to go out and lease, rent, or buy a house so that you can do it. That's what I teach every Monday and Tuesday at 6 p.m. religiously. And we beg of you all to come to do that. The second one is probably actually I got to add 5 ways now, is the ILF Academy. That's another free way.
Yeah.
So join the free Facebook group, right? It's called the ILF Academy. And that's where I spoil you guys at, right? I have some coachings there. You guys are allowed to go and ask me questions there. And a lot of times I spoil that community with sales and deals and things that I never come here on YouTube or my Facebook page to kind of talk about. So if you want to be spoiled or get extra stuff, the ILF Academy is where that usually starts at. It's also usually for my newer people.
Yep.
Now, if you're advanced, you come in and just give knowledge and understanding to some of my other people. But the ILF Academy is usually catered to a lot of new people, and we be getting a lot of people. So thank y'all for joining that. Ask your questions there. Also put in the chat in the ILF Academy. What do you want some of these workshops to be about?
Yeah.
They're twice a month. September's already set. So give us ideas of what you guys may want October to look like. Again, it's called the ILF Academy. The ILF Academy, and it is absolutely free. So those are the free ways to get into the coaching, right? The next way is called the ILF Mastery Blueprint. And that's what most people know us by, right? That's our best-selling product. That's our hand-holding in terms of the coaching to how to do this. Again, it's called it's called the ILF Mastery Blueprint. And everything's involved in it in terms of every product that we sell, every ebook, every curriculum. Your website build out is included because remember, we own the digital marketing company.
Exactly.
So your website comes from us. Your logo comes from us. The coaching 101 comes from us. Every ebook, every curriculum, every course, even the newest ebook that dropped not even 2 weeks ago, you get it.
Mhm.
The whole HRA coaching that I talked about in training today, you get it. The SOPs and all of that stuff, the email scripts, the phone script. So that means that even if you didn't have me, you still get all of these products, but you still get me because the ILF Mastery Blueprint, guys, that's what it is. It's the blueprint. So I don't want to give you just a bunch of products without me. And that's why we call it one-on-one coaching. So every ebook, every curriculum, and even though I don't want you giving out medications, I want you to understand them. So I even involve that.
That's super important.
Everybody, Shay, I give them a virtual assistant.
So important.
Because I've dreamed of having my own assistant my whole life. So did y'all. And that's why I give it to you, because we own the staffing agency. So everybody that gets this coaching plan, Shay, they get a VA.
Mm-hmm.
They get the course and the curriculum, and the onboarding is all for free on us. It comes with this plan. And then last but not least, Shay, they get every VIP community that we offer, just like the HRA community, they get it. The VA community, they get it. And then most importantly, the IMB, they get it. So all of the stuff that comes with these VIP channels, guys, and that's only $7,500. We also have scholarships, we have payment plans, we have financing. So there's no excuse for you guys not to get into this. That's the one that's most popular. The newest one that we developed just a couple of weeks ago is called the ILF Accelerator.
Yeah.
And Shay, that's for somebody that says, well, Derek, I don't need all your one-on-one help. I don't need like
all of that.
All of that.
Just
Derek,
give me the information.
6 months of your time. I still want it one-on-one, Derek. Still build my website. Still give me the one-on-one coaching. Still give me all your products. But the only difference, Shay, is in that one, there's no VA.
Okay.
There's no HRA, and it's a 6-month program. Because, Shay, most people that's going to want the accelerator, they probably already have a property.
Okay.
They understand the concept.
Gotcha.
And they've already been in business, so they get it. They don't need the day one foundation training like the ILF Mastery Blueprint.
So exactly
so
that.
People
you
say,
said
well, I got this. That's why that's the accelerator.
Yep, because it's an accelerated
that's a 6-month program. Shit, that was only $3,000.
Wow.
So for the IMB, that's $7,500. I mean, Derek, hold my hand for life. The accelerator said, Derek, I only need you for 6 months.
And that's $3,000. And I have a property.
And you got a property already. Or if they don't have a property,
I don't even need the property. I
feel like they know enough to not need what I'm gonna call the foundational blueprint, they can get the accelerator.
Okay.
And then for my people to have a really neat learning style where you don't need me at all, you want the DIY version, Shay, that was only $997. And they can do it on their own, Shay. They get all the products, all the documents, all the ebooks, all the curriculum. And most importantly, Shay, they get this MSI coaching that I did for 5 weeks. And Shay, I recorded it. Each week was over 3 hours of me teaching the ILF Mastery Blueprint. So it's instead of getting me as the one-on-one coach, they get me recorded for 5 weeks. The same training that you would get on the 7,500 package, it's just me recorded. So if you say, well, Derek, I don't need you to hold my hand. I want to do the do-it-yourself.
Yeah.
Shay, that's only $997, and they still get a VA complimentary. We still build their website, and they get all of those documents and paperwork.
Wow.
So Again, $7,500 for me to hold your hand from day
Wow.
one for life. $3,000 for the accelerator for 6 months, and the DIY version with no me, do it at your own pace for only $997.
Good night.
Those are the 3 ways to get into our coaching, guys. So if you want any of that, let us know. That phone number that you see on the screen right there, if you text the word, and I'm gonna I just want to be a blessing to somebody today. If you want either one of those coachings, text the word. I'm gonna make this up randomly, so when I see it, I'll know it. Text the word
me,
M-E.
Yeah.
If you want any of those 3 coachings, text the word me. I want to throw a special little something on top of that just to be a blessing. So yeah, text the word me if you want any of those 3 coachings. Other than that, Shay, I'm good. I've been saying I'm gonna close for the last 20 minutes. I don't see no questions in the chat. So bless the people before we go, Shay. We're gonna get out of here. I got a few details to do today.
Look at my
I got
pink
one
shoes.
driveway to do today. So again, don't forget, if you are in Orlando, Kissimmee, or anywhere in Osceola or Orange County, and you need some pressure washing services, guys, get a free quote. Don't cost you nothing. Go to powerstreamsolutions.biz, click the button that says free quote, and Shay got the button jumping like this. You can't miss it. It says free quote and it's jumping. Just hit it. Once you hit it, it'll give you a list of things that we do. Pressure washing, detailing your car, washing your roof, washing your house, washing your office building, or washing your gas station.
Angela says, I'm getting ready to close.
So no matter what you have, we want to help you at powerstreamsolutions.biz. If your car is dirty, I also detail.
And guess what?
Powerstreamsolutions.biz, and I'm out here. Shay?
Look at my pink shoes. Look at my pink shoes.
Somebody type in, look at my pink shoes, and put it in quotes. Because we're going to put that on a t-shirt. I already
look
told
at my
Shay,
pink shoes. I'm going to put on the back note.
I want to get some pink shirts and put our logo on it. Because I think people think it's cool that I'm also wearing pink shoes. What y'all think about that? Put in the chat if I should also get pink shoes.
And then we'll sing, look at our pink shoes.
Shay, can you put a picture up real quick before we go of your pink shoes? Is that possible or no?
I don't think I have
we'll
one.
show them on Monday.
Yeah, we'll show them on Monday. Come back so you can see the pink shoes. Come back so you can look at my pink shoes.
Actually, go to PowerStream Solutions
on
Facebook and look us up there, because I got Shay pink shoes all in the camera.
I love it,
so
y'all.
Every time that I do Shay, it's going to be all of her shoes, y'all, because we're going to put the point say, look at the pink shoes.
I love it.
So y'all be great. We love y'all. You know, we laugh and we joke and we play all the time, guys, but we truly hope that we said something today that ignites something in you to do God's will, which is take care of the poor, the needy, and the widow. And I pray that you're able to do that through real estate. My name is Derek Forston. I approve this entire message. Meet us again right back here Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern, and bring all of your questions. And also, if I were you, I would go and be nosy on TikTok at Derek Forston. I would be nosy on Instagram, Facebook at Forston Consultants, and become my friend on Facebook at Derek Forston. Let's be friends. Friend request me so that you can see all of the great things that we're doing in the community when it comes to housing. Now, if you want to see some fun stuff about pressure washing, follow us at PowerStream Solutions on Facebook.
And look at my pink shoes. Look at my pink
shoes. Bless the people, and we out of here.
Nah, have a good weekend, everybody. We just wanted to again, share with you some of the amazing things that we're doing. Also educate and inform people about the HRA. If you have not, and listen, you need to go to WOKB. I'll put that in the, do you have the website? Put that in the chat. We have had an amazing 4 weeks of commentary and conversation with Don Daniel, who is a phenom when it comes to he's a phenom when it comes to debt cancellation. And we've been doing some amazing work with him. Have some dates that we'll be throwing out to you all. Tiffany, I know you need to know these dates. I'm actually going to call you when I get off this live. And Don has been amazing. We want you to go check it out. That is what we do on Fridays. Yep. So Fridays, we spend the day on radio, talking about business, talking about the ILF model, talking about all things for the entrepreneur. And again, just get to know who we are, get to know what we do, and like I said, we're just not housing people, but we're also finding other opportunities to help them get out and make a better them. So hence Power Stream Solutions. Check out the Facebook page and like it,
And I
follow
just
it.
seen 2 people just on my watch. It says Angela Brooks
Nice.
just did it. So thank you guys so
Thank
much
you for
doing
looking
that.
at my pink shoes.
No, wait.
Oh,
Ask her first. Did you
did
see
you
the
see my
pink
pink
shoes?
shoes?
And when she say yes, that's when you say that.
You know what I'm saying? But anyway,
We're gonna make a whole thing of these pink
this pink
shoes,
shoe.
guys.
I'm
like,
gonna have to get another pair that are super pink,
and
like
we're gonna
just
have
wow, like
to
loud
make
pink.
some shirts, and a lot of our social media again will be catering towards the pink
I think I'm gonna put on
shoes.
the back of mine. Look at my pink shoes.
Can we tell them where we kind of got that from, or do
No,
we say that?
they'll figure it out. Look at my pink shoes. Look at my pink shoes.
Hey, y'all be good, man. Go to church tomorrow. Make sure you do that, right? I ain't real big always telling people to go to somebody's church tomorrow. Hopefully a powerful church. Hear the word of God tomorrow. Allow God to speak into you, but also speak to God and say, God, I was on this YouTube channel yesterday and I heard these Forston family talking about housing folks. And God, I want to do that. Derek said that you said the poor and needy will always be among us and we should help these folks. So God, will you mind if I get in that? And then join us Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern and let's get into it.
And Angela saw my pink shoes.
And say, yes, I see the pink shoes.
I'm gonna get a pair brighter than that. I didn't want to get too flashy, but now that it's a whole thing.
Fine. Listen to her already. Y'all want another pair of pink shoes, and these shoes ain't even 7 days old yet. So let me get the super pink ones, and she can keep them.
No. Anywho, y'all be
That's
blessed.
crazy.
We
The last
love
5
y'all.
minutes of this show, we talking about pink shoes. And by the way, don't forget to follow us at Power Stream Solutions on Facebook. Let's pray.
Weekend.
Father God, thank you so much for this time of fellowship and talking about Shea Pink Shoes. Father God, we appreciate the ability that you gave us today to talk to these people about housing your people under real estate. God, we thank you for the opportunity to say that. God, will you open up every resource for us monetarily, financially, and God, open up every resource for real estate. Open up every resource for relationship. Because God, we truly want to do your will. And we want to help people. We want to please God, help people. And God, we want to make enough money to build the kingdom of God. Because you said in your word, God, that if we put all our actions, our thoughts, and our plans before our own, and if we seek first the kingdom and all of your righteousness, God, that you would make all of these things that we want, God, you would add that to us. Yeah. So God, help us today do your will and follow your plan so that all the stuff that we want, it just naturally happens for us. So Father God, today give us the mind of Christ. Give us an able body to do your will. Because God, it's hard to do your will if we're not able bodied. Yeah. If we don't have the mind of Christ. So today, from the top of their heads to the soles of their feet, everybody that can hear my voice, you guys are healed, delivered, and set free. There is nothing wrong with any of you, and you will do the work of God through real estate. Devil, you are under their feet and have no place in their life, their business, or their family. Now unto him that is able to do exceedingly, abundantly above all we can ever ask or think, according to God's power that worketh in us. If you guys believe that, say amen. 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 Don't wait to be great, and we'll see you guys Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern.
Look at the pink shoes. Look at the pink.
Hey, David, did you know that you can start your own housing program and it doesn't require you for you to own the property and you do not need a license? So how in the world would you do that? I was always told that you had to own the property and that there was always some kind of special license that you had to get from your city to do this. People always told me that there was lots of red tape to jump through. So you mean to tell me these are also not group homes? It's actually simple. They're called independent living facilities, and Forston Consultants actually created it. They hold the trademark for it. So I follow them religiously on Instagram at Forston Consultants as well as Facebook. And every Monday night at 6 p.m., they actually go live on YouTube at Forston Consultants, and I follow them there as well. So you mean to tell me my dream of becoming this housing provider that I've always dreamt of is closer than I realize? And again, you're telling me I don't need a license and I don't have to own the property. Absolutely. You do not have to own the property. You don't have to be a nurse. You don't have to be a CNA. And you can get started as soon as tomorrow. Click the link below for more information.
One Atlanta City councilman says the city's homeless population seems to have grown and become more aggressive, and he points to what he calls deplorable behavior at the world's busiest airport. Fox 5's Angelique Proctor takes a closer look at the problem and how the city council might handle it.
If you have been in downtown Atlanta near the connector or out at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport lately, you have likely seen that the homeless problem is growing. One Atlanta City Council person says it's time to address it.
What's going on in the airport is horrible. It is deplorable.
Atlanta City Councilman Michael Julian Bond says the world's busiest airport is dealing with a homeless problem that has gotten out of hand. Bond.
Take a drive down Los Angeles' Skid Row, filled with tents, people, and growing frustration.
If I can get back into another residence, then I won't make the same mistakes I made before.
According to new federal data, a record number of people are now unhoused, more than 653,000, a 12% population increase since last year.
To a 2022 report, an estimated 359 veterans across our state face homelessness.
Transitions Homeless Shelter is opening a new dorm to help get some of those veterans off the streets. News 19's Becky Buds reports.
2 months ago, Navy veteran Zachariah Shaheed found himself without a place to live before Transitions Homeless Center took him in.
Concrete is not somewhere anyone wants to be.
Shaheed was one of the 359 veterans across South Carolina facing homelessness, according to the latest National Point-in-Time Homeless Report.
I'm just thankful and grateful that I've become one that's not of that statistic now.
A new dorm at Transitions aims to bring that number down in Columbia.
28 more beds, 28 more options. That's going to help put a dent in the problem.
Hey, what's going on, family? Have you ever imagined starting your own housing program? That's probably why you're here. And if you're looking for one-on-one coaching, like you're kind of getting right now, but in a more of a one-on-one setting, just you and I, that's our ILF Mastery Blueprint. There's a number that they're scrolling below on this screen right now. If you text the word scholarship to that phone number, my team is going to get you some information. So first of all, I'm going to say congratulations and thank you for moving at the speed of instruction. We look forward to working with you. And again, this is only for people that desire our one-on-one coaching, which is designed to watch you succeed from going from a zero to a hero when it comes to information and knowing how to implement this independent living facility model without any mistakes. That's most important. So again, our ILF Mastery Blueprint, guys, there's a scholarship that's available for it that'll slice the price in half, which is also a no-brainer. So again, if you've ever desired to start your own housing program, but you thought you needed a license, you don't. You thought you had to be a nurse, you don't. You thought you had to own the property, you don't. Consider our ILF Mastery Blueprint, where we are going to take you to success and let God use you in your community, housing the homeless and the displaced. Let's get back to the show.